All right, let's take a look at a Citizen Promaster Tough. Leave the exact reference number in the description. Um, we'll quickly go over the specs of the watch, give you guys my thoughts and experience. Then at the end, I'll tell you guys if I recommend it. So what we have here is a 42 millimeter case size. The thickness on this one is 10.7. Lug to lug is 50.4. And the lug width is 22 millimeters. We have a sapphire crystal up top with AR coating, solid stainless steel bezel, screw down crown that is signed, nice knurling on there, so easy grip when it pops open. There's a nice satisfying little pop there. Screw it back in, it's easy. We have dual lume on this one. It's all green all through the indices and the hour marker, and there is blue lume on the minute hand. This does have a monoblock case, so there's no case back, it's just a solid piece. Solid end links, solid links, milled clasp. Very nicely done there. Nice satisfying click. Very secure feeling as you can hear it. Very nice when you press it back in. Feels very secure. 3 micro adjustments, H-link bracelet, and this does come with Citizen's proprietary titanium coating. So this does have a grayish hue to it. It is not regular stainless steel color. This is darker than stainless steel. It is kind of like titanium, but titanium has a dull color to it where it's not very shimmery. This does have the shimmer of stainless steel, but just a darker tone. It kind of looks like, I don't know if you guys ever seen like kind of gunmetal gray. It's kind of like that, just a little bit less gray than that. So very nicely done. I show you guys what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist for reference. And the thinness of this watch makes it wear very good on wrist. It's probably one of the most comfortable watches. It's probably even more comfortable than the Seiko Turtle just because of the thinness of this watch. It sits very low on wrist. The curves of the lugs make it wear very nice on wrist. That crown, even though it's big, does not dig into the back of my hand. And it's just a solid feeling watch. The balance of the weight, I think, is what makes it very good on wrist as well, because of the thickness. The thickness of the bracelet is almost as thick as the case itself without the bezel. So you can see here, there is the link, and as you can see there, the watch head itself. So the watch head itself is not that much thicker than the actual link, so this gives it a good balance on wrist. These, I am aware, are discontinued now, but they are still available new, and you can pick them up anywhere around the $250 range new, and pre-owned you can find them anywhere from $150 on up. And they came in this colorway here, which is the black dial and stainless steel bracelet. They also made a stainless steel with their coating, that titanium coating, green dial, and a green like a nylon strap with rubber. And then they also made a black kind of like DLC coated with a black dial as well. I opted to have the bracelet because I like having the bracelet option. I usually do wear this on bracelet, but sometimes I throw it on that NATO in the background, just depending on how I'm feeling. But this watch is actually a very good value for the money, especially if you pick this up for around the $150 range. This is a solid built watch. The bracelet is better quality than any Seiko or Orient, which is its direct competition. I was aware that these were recently discontinued, but they, like I said, they're still available, and I think these are a great value, especially for an everyday piece. That's how I wear mine. This is kind of my everyday beater watch, and as you can see here, I've owned it for about 2 years, and the coating itself has actually worn very good. You can see there are scratches on there, but they're nothing major, nothing big. Most of them are on the clasp, but the coating doesn't look that bad on it. And I mean, this is regular wear. I don't baby my watches, but I also don't beat them up. What makes this also wear very good on wrist is you can see there's a little chamfered edge, which makes it kind of hug the wrist here. It's not just a flat um, block, and it's actually very smooth. Everything's very smooth on this watch. There are sharp angles, but it's not sharp. It's very nice. Only two gripes I have about this watch is the H-link bracelet kind of make it a pain of size depending on your wrist size, because when you take a link out, it actually takes a huge, it's a big jump, right? It does have 3 micro adjustments. Luckily, I get a good fit, which I like, but sometimes it can get a little tricky depending on your wrist size. But I do like the bracelet, especially the H-link. It is different. It's just a little tricky depending on your wrist size, so just be aware of that. The other thing is the only kind of downfall as far as the actual make of the watch, how it's made. It's the sharp angles here on the lugs don't match the end link. As you can see, the end link is round, but the lugs have that sharp angle there. So it doesn't really match. Once it's on your wrist though, you don't really seem to notice it anyways, so it doesn't bug me. But taking it off and examining the watch, you'll see that it was kind of like an afterthought. If they would have made the end links with that same angle, I think it would have looked 100 times better, or just made the end links round without that sharp edge there. They could have rounded it off and it would have looked amazing as well. I like the coating. It does make it look different than all my other stainless steel watches. Another thing to note, since this is a solar eco drive, what some of the pictures that you'll see on the internet will make it look like a solid flat black dial, but as you can see there in the dial, there is a step down, and you can see the solar little panels that they have there to absorb light, and you can see sometimes like a purplish reddish hue to it. That's just because the solar cells, right, they're picking up the light. And just something to note, it doesn't bother me, but it's something that is kind of like a little bit of false advertisement. You expect a solid black dial, which for the most part it is, but as you can tell, sometimes you get that purplish red hue in the middle. So just something to note. I like the fact that it does have the 3 o'clock date window there. You can't really see it right now because the minute hand's in the way. Some people complain that it's too small. To me, it's fine. It is a little bit on the small side, but I'd rather have it than not, especially on my daily wear. This does have 200 meters of water resistance, so it is up to any task you throw on it, which is something that I like. It is a little bit more on the casual dressy side than a regular diver, but it's tough enough to take anything. So that's what I like about this watch. It fits under any cuff. It's very well built, like I said, solid feeling and a great wear just because of the weight distribution. Better better bracelet than anything you'll find in its competition, I think, too. And I like how the finish is because you can see the brushing, but then they kind of coated it on top, and everything on this watch is very solidly built. And as you can see here, the only thing, it's all brushed, but the only difference is on the links itself. There is kind of like a sand blasted on the edges there. Everything is articulating individually too. So these are individual little blocks. So very well built. I recommend this watch, like I said, especially at the $150 range. Very nice fitting watch. If you want something you can beat, but you have to kind of wear it with a shirt, you know, dress shirt and jeans, more on the casual side, this is a great everyday watch. So keep it on your radar. If you own one, let me know in the comments what you guys think, especially now that they've been discontinued. You guys think these are going to go up, or are they just going to kind of stay a hidden gem and just be forgotten about? Let me know what you guys think. Let me show you guys the lume on this watch. It actually holds up very good. It isn't as bright as Seiko. It doesn't last as long, but it is very good. I give it a pass on this, especially for not being a dive watch. I think it's a great lume. I remember when these came out and people noticed that it had dual color lume, and they gave Citizen a hard time about it, saying, you know, why did they do that? It looks horrible. They don't get it. And then maybe like a few years later or a year later, that after this watch came out, Zelos came out with their dual lume, and everybody was hailing it as the best thing, that it was great. Now, given that the Zelos probably does have better lume, and they apply it more liberally on their watches to make it stand out more. It's just funny how people react differently to the same situation. They praise Zelos for that, but Citizen, when they came out with this, they gave Citizen crap. I think it does have to do with being um, a quartz watch, but you know, it is what it is. It's a solid, well built watch that you don't have to worry about all the moving parts inside of it. It's solar powered, so even less maintenance. And one thing also too is, on my example here, it hits the markers, I want to say 90% of the time. The other 10% of the time it kind of slightly goes off a little bit, but it still kind of hits it just at an angle a little bit. But as you can see there, it hits the markers. I charged it for a little bit. Let me show you guys the lume before I forget. Like I said, as you can see there, it's no slouch. It's pretty bright. It's not a dive watch, but it holds its own, which is a great thing. As you can see, the minute marker, I hope it can pick it up. It's a blue hue to it instead of the green everywhere else. And the triangle up top, so you can orientate yourself as to where is the 12 o'clock position. Let me know what you guys think of this one. Like I said, do you guys think this is going to be a future classic? Do you think it's going to go up in value? Or do you think it's just going to be forgotten about? Because I think this is a hidden gem. It's sad to me that it's been discontinued. I think it's a great buy. Let me know what you guys think. Catch you guys on the next one.